No one leaves their job in the middle of a pandemic because they want to. Like, I wasn't out here being like, yeah, I'm gonna leave this job. Welcome to my channel. Today we are getting personal. So I did this video topic in a live stream, but that was more like raw thoughts. I wasn't very concise in that video and the camera quality was bad. So we're doing it again. If you missed that video, don't worry, we're talking about it. I left my job during a pandemic and yeah, things are hard. So let me preface this video by saying this is a very honest video. I'm a very open person to a certain extent because I feel like there's someone out there that feels the same way. And for me, it helps me to look up videos of people in similar situations as me. I don't know, it just helps me out, whether it's breakups, whether it's financial issues, whether it's being miserable at your job. I like to see other people's videos about it because it makes me feel like I'm not the only one and I'm not losing it. So that's why I'm doing this video. Yes, it's a little personal. No, I don't really mind. I wouldn't be sharing something if I wasn't comfortable with it. I mean, it's not something I'm proud of, but it is the reality of my life. So let's get started. All right, so I have a degree in communications. Originally, that was the field that I wanted to go to. But then again, I was also going to school for theater at some point. I went to Hunter for theater because I wanted to be an actress. And then I was like, no, I don't want to be an actress. I want to be in productions. Like, I want to be backstage helping. I want to be a PA. I want to do things within that world. And then I changed my mind and I was like, no, I want to be in the animal field because growing up, I was in the animal field. I went to an agriculture animal-based school and I love animals. My number one love is animals. But in doing so, having that career change in the middle of your 20s is a little bit more difficult. Basically, in order to be a zookeeper, which is the job that I want to do, you have to have a lot of animal experience. And I do have it. I work at a little petting zoo. But you know, you need to rack up a certain number of years, in my opinion. Some people do it a lot faster. Like, they become a zookeeper very fast, very young. But I'm not necessarily rushing. I'm just trying to get as much experience as possible, right? So I was working at this job and I left it in August. It's a seasonal job. So it starts from like spring to like fall. So I left it in August, 2 months shy of the end of it. And I did it because I was miserable. And I can't really talk too much about it in fear of retaliation, just because I do want to be in this industry and a lot of times people know each other. So I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, even though I feel like it would be very juicy and it would be a very interesting video about coworker dynamics and management, but we're not going to do that. I love the animals and I love my coworkers. That wasn't necessarily the issue. It's just the way that I was being treated. I do not feel like was a very, how do I say it? It wasn't a environment where you can really flourish. Like, you're there to grow. This is a stepping stone in your career. And I feel like we were not being encouraged, especially I wasn't being encouraged, or like, I don't know what the word is. I'm going to find it later while I'm editing and I'm going to get really irritated with myself. This is why I did a live stream, because I feel like it just comes out a little bit easier. But I didn't feel like it was a good environment for growing. I feel like we were treated like little kids, even though I was older than half those people there. And we were not. Most of us are in our 20s at this point, if not mid-20s. But I needed to leave. No one leaves their job in the middle of a pandemic because they want to. Like, I wasn't out here being like, yeah, I'm gonna leave this job. No, it was not. It was a necessity thing because I mentally was not okay. But financially, I knew I was gonna struggle. I knew I was gonna take a hit because I didn't have a backup plan. I leave jobs often without backup plans, and that is a whole topic in itself. But I did leave and I had to do what I had to do. So I did leave and I ended up finding a job relatively quickly. The only problem is it's in the dog walking industry. I'm not talking about like Rover or Wag, like those apps. It's like a real like old school type of company that offers one-on-one walking services for people that live in Manhattan. And you know, it's beautiful. You get to see a lot of beautiful dogs and you get to play with them and you get your steps in. I was walking 20 to 30,000 steps a day and it was amazing. And you see really cool apartment buildings and like these big huge structures in Manhattan with doormen who like hold the door open for you and like have the keys to every apartment, and it's very fancy. It's very cool. These people have money. They have a lot of money, and because they have a lot of money, generally they have second properties, and because they have second properties, a lot of them left or are currently leaving because of the virus and the increase in cases. And I don't blame them. If I had that much money to just bounce, I would too. That has affected my hours, and then unemployment was giving me issues, and I've like run out of unemployment, which was like way too soon in my opinion. YouTube does not pay the bills. Like, let's look at my channel analytics. Like, it doesn't pay the bill. Right now I have like $85 that I've racked up, and you get paid once a month with YouTube, which is very interesting. To make a living off YouTube is a luxury. I don't care what anyone says. It's a luxury to do it, to sit at home and do it. It's a lot of work, but it's not the same. Like doing YouTube, and I know people are gonna be like, oh, well, you're a small YouTuber, so you don't really know what it's truly like. But I've been doing videos for a really long time. I do them twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And it's just, in my opinion, not the same. I think anyone who doesn't acknowledge that doing YouTube at home is a privilege is crazy. Because when you're doing YouTube at home, you have a built-in audience, like when you do it for a living, and you can take a whole month off, still have an income, regardless of whether or not you have multiple streams of income. So usually when someone's gaining money from YouTube, it's also because they have a very popular Instagram where they can do sponsorships and like merch that people are buying and X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, it's a luxury to be able to take time off like that, or to be a YouTuber that only uploads once a month. You know what I mean? Because you have millions of subscribers and you know whatever you do, you're still gonna get money. That say I have like 3,000 subscribers, which I'm very grateful for. But if you look at my total views, I have like 1 million total views, but it's not enough, obviously, to be a sustainable income, or even to just like barely pay the bill. Like all I would want really is like to be able to pay my bare minimum bills, because I'm in debt. We haven't talked about that. I think that's a whole other video that I kind of want to do. I kind of don't. But I'm in the process of paying off my debt. I've been in the process of paying off my debt for a really long time. But what happened is I was paying off my debt while still spending on credit cards and stuff. So that does not make sense, obviously. And I finally put a stop to it, which is great because I was a very impulsive shopper. And I still am an impulsive shopper, but now it's with real cash. So, you know, improvement somewhere, right? Not really. Basically, what I'm trying to say is YouTube isn't going to pay the bills. My dog walking job isn't going to pay the bills. Unemployment isn't coming in anymore. So I'm just gonna have to find another job. And the only reason this even matters, the only reason I'm sharing this story, aside from the fact that I know there's other people out there going through the same struggles, is because of Vlogmas. I promised 25 videos a week. Not a week, oh my god. I promised 25 videos for the month of December, and that might not happen, or not in the way that we're starting it off. We're kicking it off with a video every single day, which is great. It's been fun. But it might change in that I might have to do weekly installments if I find that I did get a job. Hopefully I do. I'm applying to retail jobs now. I'm not just sticking to the animal field, because I am not in a position where I can be picky about the type of job that I accept. If we're being honest here, that is just the reality of the situation. So if I have to do retail, I will do retail. Up until early spring, hopefully that's when the job that I want opens back up again, which is again a seasonal job. But that's how you get experience in the animal field, whatever. So I'm okay with that. Hopefully they still open. With cases rising, I don't know. And also there's a lot of people going for the same job. There's a lot of competition in the animal field, or in any field really. So we'll see. But if I do get a job, that's why I'm making this video. So that way I can be like, listen, we're doing monthly installments, weekly installments. I can't talk because I can't edit a video. I can't film a video and edit it after work and upload it all within the same day. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately, especially if I don't have a bit of a buffer. Normally I have a couple videos on cue, and that's not happening right now because of Vlogmas. I'm just filming them and I'm putting them out as much as possible. So if I get a job, there's not a buffer to hold me over like I did last time with my dog walking job. But yeah, I quit my job during a pandemic because I was miserable. It was just affecting every facet of my life. It was not fun to leave. I miss the animals. I miss my friends. I have amazing friends there, and obviously we still keep in touch, but it's just not the same. But like I said before, I hold no regrets. I needed to go because I was not okay, and like it was affecting, like I was just stressed all the time, so it was also affecting my relationship with friends and like my relationship with my family when I would come over, and like with my fiance. I didn't want to take it out on him. Obviously, so leaving was the best option, even if it meant not having a paycheck. Obviously I don't necessarily suggest you do the same thing as I do, even though I checked this topic on YouTube and there's a bunch of people that have done the same thing, left their job during a pandemic, and I get it. Like, it's hard. It's hard when you're miserable, and then you add to the fact that we're on lockdown, or we're not on lockdown, or cases are rising, cases aren't. You have to do all these extra steps in order to be safe at work, or when you're interacting with guests. It's just hard. Enforcing the mask rule is the worst thing in the world, especially when there's kids involved, because I get it, but then at the same time we wear masks when we're lifting up bales of hay and straw, and like picking up big barrels of manure from our goats and our sheep, and like we're wearing a mask, you know what I mean? It sucks. It sucks for everybody, I get it, but that was another layer of like stress for my job. I feel like if we hadn't opened to the public, I would have been okay. I feel like I would have hung in there. I would have been all right. But once we opened up and there's all these extra rules, all these extra responsibilities that are dealing with guests and not with animals, that's when I was just like, all right, it's time to go. Because not all animal facilities are structured in that way. Most are generally animal based, unless you're doing like tours or like educational programs with kids and animals. That's a little bit different. But if you're talking about like actual zookeepers, it's not always that much interaction because we're seasonal, so it makes sense. It's a seasonal job. But anyway, that is it for this video. I know I talk really fast. I apologize. I get that comment all the time with my reviews, and especially because this is a personal video, I am talking really fast because there's just a million things going on in my head right now. I'm about to apply to some jobs. Got to change my resume up a little bit because right now it's so animal focused, and if I'm applying to retail jobs, it's not relevant. So yeah, there's just a lot going on in my head right now, and I have really loud neighbors that really kill me, and I'm surprised they haven't woken up right now. But that's another whole stressful thing that I've been wanting to move out, and like deep breaths, Janie, deep breaths. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. It's been great having everyone here showing support and love. Doesn't go unnoticed. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.